Well, performance evaluations are really important for both employees and employers for a number of reasons. Performance evaluations can be really important to employees because it gives employees, an understanding of their performance issues, both positive and negative, and really how the managers are viewing their performance throughout that performance evaluation period, whether it's an annual basis or a quarterly basis. It also really helps employees understand where the managers are coming from, what their expectations are, both from the past and how they perform in the past, but also in the future. It also allows, from a manager's and employer standpoint, allows the managers to set goals for the future, to let the employee know this is what I want you to do going forward. The other piece that's actually really important that sometimes I'm not sure that everyone is aware of is that it really can act as a piece of evidence for employers. One of the areas that we really see this a lot is when an employee claims that they've been discriminated against based on a protected category, and they made a claim that they're discriminated against because of employer took some adverse action against them, like they've been terminated or they were suspended without pay or something like that. And in defending those cases, performance evaluations can be really important when the employer's defense is that we took this action against you because of your poor performance. So it's important for employers to do a thorough and accurate assessment of an employee's performance and put that information into the performance evaluation, because poorly drafted performance evaluations can be a real hindrance in litigation and can really actually increase liability. There are a number of cases when the performance evaluations don't really reflect what the employer is saying about an employee's performance, and it can actually lead to judgments against the employers. Some of the things that we tell employers to do to make sure that the performance evaluations are well drafted include that do this on a timely basis. If the performance evaluations are supposed to be written on an annual basis, make sure they're done on an annual basis. And be honest and accurate. Sometimes this is really difficult for employers to do because people generally don't like to give people negative information. And so a lot of times what we see are employers, when they have bad performance by an employee, they may accurately rate them on X, Y, and Z duties, but a lot of times they'll try to balance that with really positive things about that employee in other areas. And that's okay if it's accurate, but what happens a lot of times we'll see ratings that are really negative, and then other parts of the person's performance that are really positive, and sometimes that's not an accurate reflection, and in litigation that can really hurt the employer. Be detailed and specific. If don't just put a generalized statement on an employer evaluation, on the employee's evaluation. It's good for employee relations because it helps the employee understand why are you rating me this low on X duty. But it also really helps because it can document and give some substance to why the employer gave that specific rating. The person that's actually giving the evaluation really needs to be the person with the actual personal knowledge of the employee's position and also what they're doing on a daily basis. So you don't want to have a manager that's 3 levels above the immediate supervisor writing the evaluation if they don't really know what the employee is doing on a daily basis. And then the other thing we tell employers is that they really should focus on, as much as possible, on the objective criteria, things that can actually be measured. Because many times when you go into the sort of wishy-washy and fuzzy areas of an employee's position, that can be really difficult to defend sometimes in lawsuits. Untimely evaluations, giving generalities in employee evaluations. Surprisingly, we do see a lot of times sarcasm and humor in evaluations, which doesn't always go well. You need to sort of think about how is this going to sound down the road if someone objects to this performance evaluation or some sort of employment decision. As we talked about before, stressing positives just to balance poor performance. Unless that's really accurate, it's something that can really hurt the employer down the road.